Let's talk about cell phone cases. What? This channel is about treadmill motors and hooking them up to shop tools. This channel is about machining. This channel is about classic Fords. What does any of that have to do with cell phone covers?
Greetings, fellow DIYer, and welcome to my video.
The shop environment is a pretty hazardous one, especially for something as expensive as a cell phone. Because of that, I'm a huge fan of using a good quality protective case on one's cell phone. And so I figured I would do a little product review. There are two types of Otterbox Defender phone cases for the iPhone 14. You have the Defender and the Defender Pro. And I figured let's compare the two, see if the Pro is actually worth the extra $25 that it costs, and see which one is going to work best. For years now, I've been doing work in the shop, on cars, with machining tools, and my phone is either on the bench or in my pocket. And that means that it runs the risk of getting smacked, it runs the risk of getting dropped, and so far so good, fingers crossed, I have yet to damage my phone in the shop. Now, I take precautions to help avoid issues. I always use a tempered glass screen protector, and I always use an Otterbox case. And I've had a whole variety of iPhones. I started with the 4, I went to the 5, then I had the 6, had the 6 forever, went to the 11, and now I'm on the 14. And because of the cases that I'm using and because of the tempered glass, I've not had any issues. So let's get down to business. What do we have here? We have two Otterbox cases. We have the Otterbox Defender and we have the Otterbox Defender Pro. Full disclosure, I paid for both of these. I got this one from Amazon for $29.99, and I got this one from Walmart for $54.99. And I looked, I'm sure that Amazon probably has the Defender Pro somewhere on their site, but I wasn't seeing one with a quick glance. And when I went to Walmart, they did not have the Defender. So those were the only two places that I looked, and those are the two that I ended up picking up. Whichever one I don't end up liking is going back. Thankfully, Walmart takes returns, and thankfully, Amazon has free returns. So I'm only keeping one of these, and again, I want to stress I paid for both of them. At first glance, the only difference that I can see in the box is texture. We have stripes here and no stripes here, but let's take these out and take a closer look. All right, outside of the box, I'm still not seeing a lot of differences. I'm seeing foam in here, rubber and cushiony, kind of like memory foam, and it has stripes going this way. And here we have also cushiony foam, and it's got stripes going this way. Now, one thing that I noticed immediately when I touched it is there is a different feel. They're fairly similar, but this one feels a little bit more pliable. It doesn't look to be a whole lot thicker, but there is definitely a little more cush there. All right, let's continue our examination. Now, when I took those apart, I noticed an immediate difference. The Defender Pro has a softer, more pliable rubber, whereas the outside on the Defender it's a little harder. I would say it's more to the scale of a plastic. It's still a rubber, but it's harder, more like plastic, where this one's softer and this one's a little more firm. Now let's look at the actual plastic inserts. Again, at first glance, they pretty much look the same. But then when you turn them over and you begin to inspect them, you see on the Defender Pro that we have all this ribbing. And on the Defender, we don't have any of that. And I'm not an engineer, but my basic understanding of how to build things and how to make them stronger Ribbing like that is going to significantly increase the strength of the corners on this case. So it's going to be more shock resistant and more, I guess shock resistant really isn't the right word. It's going to be stronger and less likely to crack if it has a pretty hard impact. On the side, other than the ribbing, I'm not really seeing a major difference. From the back, same thing, just the ribbing. And that side's pretty much the same. So it looks to me like these are almost identical. This one is just built a little heavier. The rubber, again, we'll do a good comparison. I can see a big difference here. The buttons on the Defender Pro actually stick out a little further than the buttons on the Defender. And for me, that I'm usually not even looking at the buttons. So having a little more that I can feel, that's definitely an improvement. And the same thing on the button on the other side. This button is a little thicker than this button. So that's definitely an advantage for me there. I've had my phone in both of these. I have used it for a little while with both of them. And ultimately, I chose the Defender Pro. Now, you need to know that I'm cheap. I don't like spending money. I fully expected to pick the Defender because that's what I've had in the past. It's been Otterbox Defenders, and I've been very happy with them. And I didn't want to spend $25 more for the one that is Pro. After having my phone in both of them, the reason that I decided I liked the Pro better came down completely to the buttons. Because the rubber on the Defender Pro is softer and more pliable, it made the buttons a little easier to use. There was less resistance as I compressed the buttons. And also, as I noted before, because the buttons stick out a little bit further, it was easier to feel them and easier to push them. With those two things in mind, the rubber outside on this really made the difference for me and is why I decided to go with this unit right here. The research I did before purchasing either of these said they're both great cases. They both are rated for drops and protecting your phone from damage. There wasn't a whole lot of information out there other than to say that this one is better. Is it $25 better? I think it comes down to personal preference. I would assume that both of these are pretty much going to function the same and are pretty much going to protect the phone about the same. This one's supposed to have some extra layers of protection, which it probably does, given the ribs and given the way this foam inside feels and the fact that this is more pliable. I could see where all of those things would make it an even better protector of the phone, more impact resistant. But I don't know that we've gained a huge advantage over this one. This is the same technology that I've been using all the way back from my iPhone 4, the basic Otterbox Defender. And again, I've been really hard on my phones and I haven't broken any of them. So I don't know that the little bit that I would be getting out of this really makes that big of a difference as far as protection. But the function and usability of this, the way it feels in my hand, the way the buttons work, makes this the winner for me. If you've come to this video because you wanted to know the difference between these two, I hope that I have answered those questions for you. More than anything, I hope that I have given you the information you need to be able to make the decision that's best for you. For me, it just really did come down to personal preference and liking the Otterbox Pro better. Stay tuned next week as we will get back into the wonderful worlds of classic cars, treadmill motor conversions, or machining. I don't anticipate videos that are not in those three categories showing up on my channel, but I figured why not shoot this video? It may help someone out who was looking for the same information that I was looking for. Had I been able to find the information, I probably would only have purchased one of these. But since I couldn't find the information, I had to purchase them both. Maybe I can save you from having to do that.
If you like what you've seen, please click like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.